webcam.
Why? Still lagging or no?
It's going to be like.
You're good now, but
I think it's fine. All right, guys, we're having technical issues over here. Every time I open up Tapology, everything begins to lag and things start crashing. I don't know why that is. It's never happened before. So we're doing this without Tapology on the screen. You get to look at our pretty faces just a little bit longer. I'm your host, Picks with Pegasus, here with Dre V. He is still on vacation, even from last week's video, his third one of the year. So McPicks is joining us, friend of the show, multi-time guest. We're always happy to have you. How's it been going, man? How's the year been going for MMA?
It's going good overall. Yeah, I feel like it's been a good year. I'm on a two card skid right now, so I'm looking to turn it around. But it's always nice having like a week off. You kind of recalibrate, take your time, look into the fights. But it always also sucks having a week off. A week off feels like a month off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we're coming back to this garbage card too. This may be one of the.
Yeah. Listen, I'll take fights.
Yeah, I don't want to complain either. It's like, when there's like no UFC, you're like, just give me a card, even if it's not good. We're going to have some bets anyway. So, yeah, I mean, the card is not the best, but I feel like it might be a violent one. So I'm excited for it.
Yep, guys. Also, repost the stream, retweet on Twitter. It should be live on the BTL Twitter. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll do that in the beginning. But we can just get right into these fights. First fight of the night we got is Fatima Kline versus Melissa Martinez. Fatima Kline is going to be the biggest favorite on the card, sitting at minus 1,200. Melissa Martinez plus 800. Everyone knows Fatima Kline is Aaron Blanchfield's girlfriend. Minus 1,200. I'll go first. I think it's justified. I think we're going to see what she did to Dudakova all over again with Melissa. I think Fatima Kline finds the sub here. What do you think, McPicks?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't get there from a money line perspective, but betting wise, she's probably better everywhere. I would say if it stays in the feet entirely, that's probably where it would play out the closest, but that's not going to happen. And even if it did, you got to favor Kline. She pressures forward, throws a lot of volume. Martinez is more like kind of skirt on the outside and counter. But big time red flag for Martinez. If you're getting out grappled by Elise Reed, that's not a good look. And if you go back and watch some of her regional tape, Martinez was pretty much dominated on the mat from like a 7-5, basically 500 fighter. So I think that if Kline can, and I think she will get the fight down to the mat, she's gonna pass and get in dominant positions and either submit her or ground and pound. So I do think she finishes.
Okay. Yeah. Rob, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, kind of the same, watching that Elise Reed fight. I mean, not only she got wrestled, she got dropped also. And, I'm sure people in the chat complaining because he's not here. I'm sure you would shit on Elise Reed pointing to the judges when she dropped her. That was like one of the craziest.
I hate that. I mean, like, it's one thing if you're Max Holloway doing that, but when you're Elise Reed and that fight was close too. It wasn't like she was destroying her.
Like that. I'm like, what is she doing? And then she's watching her, just letting her recover. That was insane. And I've also noticed that she slowed down in that round 3 against Elise Reed. And the fact that Reed's getting takedowns when she's the worst grappler, maybe not the worst, but one of the worst grappling in the division, it's a big red flag. The thing I'll say about Martinez is she's good at avoid the fight, which is kind of an issue. She's running circle a lot. So maybe if Kline has, some problems tracking her down, it could burn out the clock. And we ended up in the third round, and now there's still no finishes. So I think for the totals, I wouldn't play the under 2.5. I think it's better to play like fight doesn't go, or maybe cover yourself with like a Kline round 3 props because, if you look at it, she got a couple round 2-3 finishes in her career. She's not like sometimes she starts fast, but I feel like because of Martinez's style and footwork, it could be harder for her to get takedowns early. And it's not like she's going to sell out for takedowns. She kind of loves to strike. I think her striking is pretty all right. But, on the feet, it's going to be close. I don't think she finished her on the feet, but on the ground, she has really good ground and pound. I wouldn't pick between the sub and the KO just because she preferred to go to the ground and pound. But she's obviously a really good grappler, so I think it should be a level fight, honestly. Martinez is just not really good. And, Kline at the end of the day is only 25, is going to be improving. And I think she's going to get takedowns at some point, get on top, and probably finish. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking at some props when they drop on FanDuel for that one. I think there's a lot of different ways that you can play it, but I feel like if we play the under 2.5, it could get a bit tricky for the like a round 3 finish. I think it's like for Kline. She got, like, if you look, she got two round 3 KOs, and out of the the 2 that she got are after 2.5. That, so I don't like that for the totals, but yeah, I think she should win, and probably by finish, honestly.
Okay. Next fight, Mike Davis versus Mitch Ramirez. You got Mitch Ramirez anywhere from plus.
Do comments, Beck? Do comments real quick. We got
do comments. Limbut's talking about Kline getting mushed because I said it's an easy pick. Still stands true. What's happening, Cole? Thanks for joining us, bro. Let me see here.
What's up? It's a good picture right there that you got.
Key's in the witness protection program. Where is Key? How are we gonna know if it's a dog shit fight or not? What's happening? Shout out for doing the graphics. I appreciate it, man. Dixon Sider just followed you, I think. McPicks. Congrats.
I got you this week, Dixon.
Oh, yo, by the way, we got to have a moment of silence for Daz Files. I woke up this morning and a dog bit his finger off. So moment in silence for his finger. All right. Thanks for
that. My uncle lost that same finger when he was like 18 years old. He was like changing a tire, and the jack somehow like collapsed on his finger. So he lost it like up to that point. And like it's a cool story. Like you don't need that much of a finger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He used to always, when we were drinking, he would stick his nub in our drink and mix it. You know, like that type of shit. So he seems like he has a good attitude about it. I shot him a comment. So he's
I saw that. That was the first time I woke up to, and he seemed to be light about it. Yeah, guys, if you go look at Daz Files' Twitter. I can't remember his Twitter handle, but it's up there. It was kind of crazy to wake up to.
It is.
But that's the comments. Let's move on. McPicks, obviously, he's always bringing the heat. You guys got to know that by now. Yes, it's real. He got his finger bit off. It also took him forever to get medical care. He must be living in like Canada or something. Who knows? But all right, Mike Davis versus Mitch Ramirez. Mike Davis minus 900. Mitch Ramirez plus 600. McPicks, I'm gonna have you go first here. I mean, we just watched probably a career worst performance from Mike Davis, whether it be the fumes in Abu Dhabi or Rio, whatever it was, or whatever. I don't even know how to explain it, but he was pulling guard 30 seconds into the fight.
Because he was fighting a Frenchman.
Yeah, and he was fighting a Frenchman to make things matters even worse. But he just looked horrible, like career worst. I mean, Mitch Ramirez, I really don't think he's that good of a fighter at all. This should be the levels game, should be an easy win. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, 2 massive favorites to kick off the card, get them out of the way early. But I think Davis pretty much has him covered everywhere. Like, if you think about it, like, what's Mitch's path to victory? He's bigger, he's more athletic, he has more experience against better level of competition. He's probably the better striker. He's a better grappler, more durable. So it's like, I feel like Ramirez is really drawing thin. And also, Ramirez has been off for a little bit now. I mean, last time he fought was March of 2024. So, almost a year and a half. I looked at his Instagram. He's coming off 2 surgeries. He had like a heart condition. So he's coming off of that. And then he was supposed to fight, I think, a few months ago, and he broke his foot. He had to have surgery for that too. So it's not a lot of good going for Ramirez right now. But yeah, I think Davis has him covered everywhere. It's just a matter of, do you think he's going to finish, or do you think he's going to win by decision? I think he finishes. I think that Davis has kind of fallen in love with his grappling. I think he gets him down pretty easily. And I'll go sub. I think he subs him, but I wouldn't be surprised if Davis knocked him out. Ramirez has a 36% striking defense. So Davis by finish.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's just going to be a levels game on the ground. I'd take the sub prop, but I don't know what it is. What do you think, Trav?
Yeah, it's plus 300. Honestly, it's not
a bad luck
for me, because like his KO is plus 150 and his sub is plus 300. Like, at the end of the day, I mean, when you look at it, he has 7 KOs, 2 subs, but he did go for a lot of grappling recently. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I mean, Ramirez has been KO'd twice. doesn't really check leg kicks, and Mike Davis leg kicks are better than Thiago Moises. So I think he's going to be fine here. I'm going to predict a KO, but yeah, it could be sub 2. It should be a level fight, honestly. But yeah, maybe you just pick between the KO and the sub, and you turn, minus 900 into plus money somehow, because the ITD is like minus 150. I'm not in love with that.
Yeah.
We'll probably get a better line though than that on it's minus 150 on Bet Online probably, right?
For the ITD, yeah, it's minus 155.
You'll probably get a better line on like FanDuel or
minus 125, maybe something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should finish.
It's like dog racism. Was it a pit bull? Everyone always assumes they're so mean. Level difference between Ziam and Ramirez, 100%. French strike, fear in his heart. Yeah, levels fight. We all agree. I hate dogs. That is a wild comment. I don't think many people. All right, Key says like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for joining us, Key. It's so funny. He can hop on and watch the show and comment, but he can't join the show and do the podcast. I don't know. Different people. There's different people doing different things. All right, next fight. Kenny Nchukwu versus Walter Walker. Kenny Nchukwu's anywhere is minus 198 to minus 205. Walter Walker, plus 175 to plus 168. Drav. Walter Walker by heel hook. 3 in a row.
I mean, it got to be a lock at this point, right?
He even put the meme up. He also put the wildly racist post up.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it
this morning.
Yeah.
But he got away with it. And I looked at the comments and no one was shitting on him for it. So I guess you can just do that now if you're a Walker brother. What do you think?
I missed it. What did he do?
Okay, go on his Instagram and go look at his last video about saying who he's fighting.
It's not that deep, but like it's still bad. But yeah, anyway, looking into this one, it's like it's kind of a tricky fight in a way, right? Kennedy's the better striker. He has better cardio and more volume on the feet. Decent takedown defense. But when you look at it, he actually got taken down a couple times at light heavyweight against, guys like Ion Kutulaba, who's a good wrestler, don't get me wrong, but Ion is known for like not being the best control guys when he gets takedown, and he was able to control him for I think 2 minutes early on in that fight. And then he also, back in the days, if you go back and you watch the fight against Daniel Marquez, he also got taken down and his back taken for multiple minutes. Nicola also, he was controlling him in the clinch for a long period of time. And these guys are not as big as Walker. Walker's a big dude. He's 6'6", I think, and he has like a big reach. So Kennedy is normally used to be like the way taller, bigger guy, and that's not going to be the case here. And also, like, I know people are kind of shitting on Walker because of his UFC debut, but to be fair, I think we need to put some context into it. He was 26 years old and he weighed in at 264. And after that, if you look at it, he got in way better shape. He weighed in 245 in his last fight, and he looks to be taking his career way more seriously than he was before. The shape difference is just like, it's crazy when you look at it. And he gassed out against Bresky, so maybe he said, man, I need to get in better shape and do more cardio stuff and all of that. But at the end of the day, I mean, the guy has grappling upside here. He's the bigger guy, and I feel like he's gonna get Kennedy down early. Like, the thing with Walker is, like, he's not the best fighter, but he's kind of a fast starter, and Kennedy is a slow starter. So I feel like early on, and he's very explosive with his takedown. So I feel like early on, he's going to be able to get Kennedy down. And when he get on top, I don't think Kennedy has failed that type of size on top. So I'm not sure he's going to be able to get up. And if we start that fight that way and, Walker's up 1-0, then I'm not just going to assume he's going to gas out again, because he's 20 pounds lighter than he was in his debut. So, and on the feet, to me, he seems pretty durable. He has a good chin. So I'm not confident that Kennedy is going to knock him out easily. And also, Kennedy is just so inconsistent that we're talking about a guy that, sometimes he gets knocked out in the first round. Sometimes he dropped the first round and come back. And, sometimes he's losing to, 42 years old OSP, 40 years old, my bad. It's like the guy is just not consistent in his performance. I think at heavyweight, it could be better, because obviously maybe at light heavyweight with the weight cut, it was too hard for him. But at the end of the day, if you gave me the guy that is younger, because Walker's going to be improving, he's shown improvements already. He's only 27 years old at heavyweight, and Kennedy's 33. He has grappling upside. He's the bigger guy. I think he's durable on the feet, and I think it's the dog or pass for me here. I just think it's going to be a close fight, and I think Kennedy's going to need probably to come back after a tough start, and maybe finish him in 2-3. That's the way I would look to play Kennedy if you like that side. Round 2-3 prop. That's usually where he gets his finishes. I know if you look, he got back-to-back round 1 finishes, but it was because of the level of competition. And normally he's getting finishes in round 2 and 3. And, Walker back-to-back heel hook, that's probably not going to happen again. But I was also thinking that because they both got round 1 finishes back-to-back, they would price the total at 1.5. But they're sharp with it. They put at 2.5. So not really in a hedge here. I think it's dog or pass. Like I said, I could only bet Walker, but I guess gun to my head, I'm going to pick Kennedy, but I think it's a dog or pass situation on their money line.
I agree with you. I was looking to make generational wealth. I figured they'd give us a 1.5 line for a heavyweight fight, right?
That's what I thought too. They
didn't. And, I have no interest in betting this fight. Kenny Nchukwu is a fluke artist. We've seen him fuck shit up in any different way he wants. Walter Walker, king of the memes. Anything could happen. His cardio stinks. His striking so-so. Good grappler. Kennedy could be grappled, but who knows what Walter will look like late. Who knows when Kennedy's going to get stuck in a triangle arm bar from the ground. Like, anything could happen here. This is just a gross fight, in my opinion. I like the over, but I'm not playing anything here. I wouldn't waste my money on it. It's got to be dog or pass, just because I don't trust Kennedy to do to like cover his price or at a big dog or big favorites like this. But I don't know. I think I'm just gonna take, as a pick, I'm just gonna take Walter Walker to win. Fuck it, heel hook.
Yeah, I think it's always tough to trust Kennedy as a big favorite because he has dropped the ball multiple times. But I think stylistically, it's a type of matchup that he usually does well in. Usually, he struggles against guys that can hit hard, and he usually does good against guys that try to grapple him. He's like super long and like awkwardly heavy. So
yeah, he does tall man wrestling well.
Yeah, so I think when guys try to take him down, they just get really tired, and then he kind of just takes over, because he's just kind of like letting them throw him around, and he slowly just takes over, and then he has good cardio, and he throws a lot of output. And one thing to note about Walker is he's been super successful with his grappling so far. Like even in the Bresky fight, I know like Drav mentioned, he's probably in better shape now, but he went 4 for 5 on takedowns. There wasn't much resistance there, and he still really got gassed out. So I think that if he's shooting a lot of takedowns early and Kennedy's doing a good job making him work, maybe even if Kenny gets taken down, if he gets back up to his feet, I think Kennedy's a great live entry, like after a round. And I think that if Walker doesn't get him out of there early, Kennedy's just going to completely take over, and he's going to be my pick. I think that he's live to finish Walker in the later rounds and give him his first finish loss.
All right. Cody, what's happening, bro? What's good? Key, Moura, and Murphy is dog.
It's the next one.
Yeah, that'll be the next one. Zombie Girl KO. I think that they're talking about Edwards versus Priscilla. Everyone seems to agree with champ bets here. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. The under -120 seems decent. I kind of disagree. I guess I think finishes come late, if anything, but I don't even know. I can see this going the distance, honestly. Let's see. High comment. Next fight, Lauren Murphy, Eduarda Moura. Moura's -600. Lauren Murphy +425. I'll go first here. I'll take Key's job. Key would obviously be on Moura here at -600. I just know the type of gambler he is. But no, honestly, at this rate, no reason to bet this fight. Lauren Murphy's good. She's tough. She wins fights from being tough, but now she's 42 and beat the shit. Eduarda Moura looks like she's in better shape now, especially after a good win against Veronica Hardy, where she didn't even need to grapple. She actually just improved her striking, and her striking looks good. She's out of Jailton Almeida's camp. We know she's a really good grappler. Striking is coming together. Lauren Murphy's just a punching bag at this rate. If you can't And if she only like has success if you quit or breaks you or you get out. I don't think Moura will have a problem here. I think Moura is just going to beat her on the feet. I'm not sure if I find a finish just because of how tough Lauren Murphy is. Maybe you get a sub, but I don't see like a ground and pound finish or anything. I'm a huge Moura fan. I like her to win this fight. Should be pretty straightforward. But yeah, I think it's just there's no way to really play this with good odds. What do you think, McPicks?
Yeah, I agree. This is a pass fight for sure. I mean, Murphy, she's dirt tough, but she's coming off a 2.5-year layoff. Who knows how she's gonna look? She looked kind of like rickety against Jessica Andrade.
This is her retirement fight too.
Oh, it is. Okay, that's even worse.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you want to make a case for Murphy, she's obviously more experienced fighter. She has probably better cardio, higher output on the feet. She's tough. But besides that, I think Moura is just going to outskill her, essentially. Take her down, hold her down.
How old is she?
I'd be surprised if Moura finished her, to be honest.
She's 41.
41?
She's old,
She's
man.
going to be 42 in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Fuck this.
Murphy's tough. I don't see her looking for a way out. I think that it's going to be a decision.
Okay.
But yeah, honestly, like I don't think Moura is that good, to be honest. I'm going to look to fade her in the future against like a decent striker with good takedown defense or a good get up game, but it's definitely not the spot to fade her. So yeah, it's pretty much a pass fight, but you got to go Moura.
Drav, what are you thinking?
I don't have nothing to say here. I'm gonna talk like he, but this is a bullshit fight, and it's just a complete pass. But yeah, I mean, Moura should win. I'm gonna say decision as well.
Gotcha. All right, we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, for the new people in the chat, Keith's gonna be back next week.
He's just on vacation. All right, next fight is going to be a good one. We saw it talked about on Twitter all week. It is Jake Matthews versus Chidi Bang Bang Njokuani.
My main event.
Yes. Jake Matthews plus 130, Chidi minus 150. Drav, you love this so much. I'll let you go first. Does Jake Matthews give Chidi the space he needs, let him tee off on him, or does he find his area in the clinch, or does Jake Matthews beat him with some grappling and inside boxing?
All right, so yeah, it's not that I love it so much, but I'm pretty confident in my capping here in the sense that I think that the line is not right. I cap Matthews the favorite personally. There's other reasons, the first one being he's 6 years younger. He has grappling upside. To me, he has a better boxing. I think his ends are faster. He's also the more durable fighter of the two. We've seen Chidi quit and gas out in fights before. We've never seen that for Matthews. And, making 170 is not getting any easier for Chidi at 36 years old. He missed weight last time out. And also that's a guy that has, many fights in his career. We're talking about a guy with a record of, 25-10 at 36 years old, trying to make 170, being a 6'3" guy. So with the 80 inches of reach, that's crazy, man. And I think it's getting to him at this point. He fought only 4 months ago. He's going to try to cut back again to 170. And I think he looked great at 170 so far. Cardio wise, all of that, he looked great in the cage. In his last fight especially, I think he looked pretty good. But also people are going to, forget, but he got hurt in round 1. It was a boxing combo in the pocket, and he lost that round on the 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards. So I think Matthews can do the same here. I think he can close distance and get in the pocket with his boxing. My worry with that is that Chidi's going to have success in the clinch with the knees. That's like one of the best part of his game. The knees, the clinch. That's my concern, obviously. But outside of that, I'm pretty sure that Matthews is not going to just stare at distance with him, because at distance he's going to get his legs beat up. So I think he always end up in boxing in boxing range in almost every fight. So he's going to be careful because of the knees and the clinch. But outside of that, I mean, I think we need to, stop holding that Semelsberger fight against him, because he got dropped a couple times there and he looked bad. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, at the end of the day, the guy is 30 years old now. He's probably entering his prime. I think he looked great in his last 2 fights. And what the reasons because I'm saying that for Semelsberger is because, he got dropped 3 times there. But then after that, you look his fight against Morales, who's a really good fighter, undefeated guy, right? Top 10 guys now. And the guy has big power. Matthews took his shot well. He didn't get dropped in that fight. and he fought him close. That was a 29-20 decision for Morales, right? And then the Phil Rowe fight, that was a tough start for him. He got clipped with some big shot, but Phil Rowe is not the best fighter. But man, the guy 1-2 down the middle. He's a laser with him. He's a laser with these shot. He's really long arms, and Matthews took his 1-2 well. And the other reasons I'm bringing these two guys up is because they both have similar frame as Chidi. So he fought these guys before, but I think Morales and Phil Rowe both have better hands than Chidi. Chidi's mostly kicks and clinch, and I think the leg kick is going to be money for him. But if we talk about like boxing and the ends, I think Phil Rowe and Morales were tougher matchup in that sense. So, I mean, if Jake fight a smart fight, which could be, it's hard to trust him to do so because sometimes his fight IQ is not the best, but he should shoot takedowns here. And I think if he does wrestle, he's going to get the takedowns eventually, maybe 1 or 2. But I can't go out there and just think he's going to grapple fuck or wrestle fuck because he have not really shown me the desire to do so recently. So, yeah, overall, I just think Jack has, I think he has multiple path to victories when you look at it. Like, I think he can break Chidi. I think he could TKO Chidi. I think he could sub Chidi. And if you go to distance, I think it's going to be a close 29-20 decision. And I also noticed that Jake, his check left hook, check left hook is pretty good, and he's good at countering, but also he's always pressuring with combos. And I think in the clinch, when Chidi's trying to, lend those knees, he's gonna get clipped with some big shot dares in the process as well. So, yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is, I think his chin, the chin of Matthews is better. I think he's more likely to hurt Chidi than the other way around, which could be like the odd take of the week. But I've seen Chidi when he gets hurt, when things are not going his way, he tends to quit. That's a guy he's been KO'd 5 times. He's been subbed 3 times in his career. So, yeah.
All rear naked chokes also.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I think Jake could get the back potentially here. But even the striking, I think the striking is going to be closer than what people think. Chidi's going to strike at distance, but, his fight against Albert Duraev, they struck for the most part, and it was close. I know it was because of a takedown threat, but I think Matthews, if he's smart, he's gonna make Chidi worry about the takedowns. And then as the fight goes on, I just trust his tenacity more. I think if he has to fight adversity compared to Chidi, he's gonna do better. He could get takedowns, like I said. And then considering I gave Matthews KO and sub upside, I gave him more finishing upside because of that. Because Chidi, I only gave him KO upside. And honestly, I think if you go to distance, I kind of lead Matthews as well, 29-28, like I said. But, if Chidi wins his decision, it's going to be like more damage, beating the legs up early and, winning the clinch. But, to me, Matthews is still improving. He's 30 years old. He's entering his prime. And Chidi is clearly a finished product at this point. And he's trying to, kill his body to make the weight. So, yeah, I just think overall it's going to be a close fight. And I slightly favor Matthews. I think he has more paths to victories. And if turns out he has grappling success early, I think he's going to look like a big favorite, honestly. So to me, it's Jake Matthews. I post him as my free bet of the week. I play plus 110, and then I add at plus 140. I just think this line is back. I think the line should be flipped, honestly. I cap him around minus 150. So, yeah, tell me how wrong I am, guys.
I'm not going to disagree with you at all. I think Jake Matthews get the sub. From a striking standpoint, kind of like I think you mentioned it. All I had to do is go back and watch the Phil Rowe fight. So everything I need. Honestly, I rate Phil Rowe as a better fighter than Chidi, honestly. And coming off Phil Rowe's last performance, I think he's got better knockout power, boxing wise. I think Matthews will have success with the boxing. I think he'll have success grappling. If he gets to the ground, I think it's over for Chidi. To be honest with you, I think he probably finds a sub if he gets to the ground. He's just levels above Chidi, and we've seen Chidi quit on the ground, like we said, 3 rear naked choke losses. Chidi seems like round 1 or bust for me personally. What Chidi looks for is distance, getting his kicking game off and things like that. If you give him the distance, he's going to pick you apart. Jake Matthews, it's not his game. He's a pocket boxer and then a grappler. So I don't think we'll see that here. We have to worry about the clinch a little bit. Chidi's very good in the Muay Thai clinch, as we've seen as well. But I don't know. Jake Matthews, pocket boxing, body work, things like that should work well there. And if he gets a takedown or gets the back, I think it's over. So, yeah, I played him for 2 units at plus 130. Seems pretty straightforward for me. Happy with taking this first dog of the card. What do you think, McPicks?
I'm not as I don't have the best read in this fight, What I will say is I don't like that Jake Matthews has completely fallen in love with his hands. You know, he's only landed one takedown in his past
years. Yeah.
8 fights. So, and with that being said, Chidi's obviously huge for the division. He's found a lot of success at 170. And my concern with backing Matthews is if he's not going to leverage his biggest advantage here, which is his grappling, Chidi does a really good job of managing distance with his front kicks, his teep kicks. And I could just see him picking apart Jake Matthews across 3 rounds. Like you guys said, Jake Matthews, super durable fighter. But Chidi's definitely the better striker and the more refined just kickboxer in general. So I don't have the best read in this fight, but I think it's going to go to decision. I think it's going to be close. I wish Matthews was more of a proactive grappler, but he's not. So
not anymore.
I ended up picking Chidi by decision, but low confidence.
What do you think the line is if like Matthews wrestle like heavy early? What do you think the price could be like if he has success grappling early and he has a grappling game plan? Because that's possible. I'm not counting on that betting him, but like I think that's a possibility.
It definitely is, but he just hasn't done that like at all recently, you know. So
Darius Flowers, he wrestled Darius Flowers, right? That was the last person he really wrestled.
No, he didn't even get a credit for a takedown.
I think he kind of reversed Flowers takedowns.
Yeah, he literally has not landed more than one takedown since 2020, which is 8 fights ago. So
when he entered the UFC as such a young man, that's all he used to do. He was just known for his jiu-jitsu and known for his grappling.
He fell in love with his hands. He has good boxing, but Chidi keeps his like distance super well. I mean, unless he gets inside, he can obviously catch him, but I just feel like if he's not going to wrestle that often, this fight's going to take place largely on the feet, and that's a tough ask against Chidi.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy fight, but I think he could make it look easy if that makes sense.
Yeah, you guys, it's the underdog, right? It's not like you're betting the favorite.
Yeah.
No key. We already mentioned that. He likes Chidi. Matthews aims Ortega Chidi. I think Chidi will do well in the stand up and clinch. I agree with the clinch part. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean,
his multi-clinch is nasty.
Yeah, the clinch and the leg kicks like the biggest worry, honestly. But having said that, is like even if he has success with leg kicks and the clinch, like I've never seen a fight of Jake where he stay at distance. And like the Morales fight, Morales had a ton of success with leg kicks. And after that, Matthews just pressured more and ended up in boxing range. And if they end up in boxing range, I think his ends are better and faster. So that's kind of my points. Like if they strike for 15, I think he could win the fight somehow because I trust his cardio more, I trust his chin more, and his heart more. So yeah, but I think if he's smart, which he's not really smart, like McPick said, he's not using his the easiest path to victory. But wrestle early, make that guy worry for the takedowns. And then if he gets on top, I mean, he could sub him, but also ground and pound. Chidi has quit on the ground before, and if you grapple Chidi, he's shown to gas out even quicker. So yeah, and the Duraev fight, like I talked about, like he was so worried about the takedowns that it was so low volume on the feet, and he ended up losing a close, mostly striking decision against Duraev. And Duraev is not durable, and he was not really able to hurt him.
Yeah, it's gonna. I don't know. We'll see.
Should be a close fight.
Yeah. Next fight: Chris Curtis versus Max Griffin. Max Payne Griffin. Chris Curtis minus 315. Max Griffin plus 265. This is Chris Curtis coming back to 170. We've seen him not do that well at 170. He fought 170 when he was in the PFL. He's coming back at the ripe age of 38. McPicks, do you think this is a good decision going to favor him here, or is Max Payne Griffin going to find the finish?
I don't think Griffin's going to find the finish. I think this line where it is right now is definitely a bit wide, right? What is he? Minus 315? Yeah. I mean, only because, well, at least early on when Chris Curtis came into the UFC, he was like, he throws a lot of output, but he was tentative. Like he was losing until he won the fight. You know what I mean? Like he was losing the exchanges until he found the finish. Recently, he's been a little more aggressive, but overall, I just think this is a volume fight. It's a volume thing, and Chris Curtis just throws more. I mean, Max Griffin, he's good in round 1. He has a lot of power. he doesn't throw enough. He really doesn't. And it's like going down and down. I know like his last fight, he fought Chiesa and he was worried about the wrestling probably. So he was a bit like hesitant on the feet. But besides that, the guy just doesn't throw. If you look at his numbers, he's going to land more here because Curtis is there to be hit. He kind of just, shells up, boxes in front of you. But Curtis is going to throw a lot. He's durable. Both these guys are really strong, like in their to the KO. They're both like I don't know the numbers, but really strong to the KO. They haven't gotten knocked out, haven't gotten finished a lot. Curtis got finished in his last fight. He definitely got hurt, but that was a questionable stoppage. But that was only his second knockout loss. The dude is super tough, throws a lot of volume. You're going to get with Chris Curtis. Max is actually older than Curtis by 2 years, which is surprising. And I think it's just going to be like a volume-based decision. I could see it being close. I can see like Max landing some, winning the moments in some of the rounds, and then Curtis just out, striking him and winning like a 29-28 decision. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. Going into this week, I was like, wow, Chris Curtis is going to be a great parlay leg here. That was my original thought. But looking back at when I looked at some of his PFL stuff at 170 and things like that, I'm like, chin's not really good coming down this way. Max Payne Griffin kind of always fights close. I think I bet him. I don't think it was against Chase. I think I bet him against, I think it was the fight before that. But I don't know. I feel like this is going to be interesting. I'm not really sure what kind of action we're going to get out of Chris Curtis. But I think this is like a huge step down in competition wise, if you want to ask me like that. So I guess
you think Griffin can knock him out on the feet?
No, maybe just because Max Griffin does throw heavy when he does bite down the mouth guard. I think it could be close, but like I said, I could also see Chris Curtis finishing him with a body shot or catching him on the jaw. We saw some pretty shitty striking from Max Griffin in the last fight, but I think that was due to, like you said, the takedowns of Chiesa, having to worry about that. It made him look like he was a Golden Glove boxer. But I don't know. I originally was thinking Chris Curtis would be a good bet. Not minus 300, he's not. So I was looking maybe plus 3.5 for Max Griffin, but I think it was a weird spread or like a weird line. I think it's like minus 180 or something like that. It's actually the job earlier, but either way, wasn't interested. Just gonna pass. If I got to pick a side, I'm gonna say Chris Curtis wins, probably by decision. What do you think, Job?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it now on Tapology. The last time he made 170, he was 34 years old. So it was not really a long time ago. But we need to factor that, he was a career welterweight. But when he got to the UFC, he accepted the fight at 185 and he decided to stay there. But he also, I remember a post from him, I think last year, that he was talking about how much size he put on to be like fine at 185 and how much muscle he had on at 185, and that now he feel comfortable at that weight class, and now he's dropping back down. So adding all that muscle that he did, the last time that he fought was early in the year, so it's not like it's been a year. I think the wake up might not be as easy as what he think, but the thing also is like they have shit record in decision, 13-9 for Curtis, but 9-9 for Griffin. You want to know a crazy facts? I mean, 5 out of the win of Griffin's and by decision are split decision, but 5 of his losses are split decision. So that's a guy that always fight close, no matter who he's fighting. And if you look into his last decision in the UFC, Neil Magny split decision, Tim Mean split decision, Morales unanimous, but Wells split decision. So I just feel like it's going to be a competitive fight. My only worry with like the GTD and all of these bets is Curtis is really good. He's good at building into the fight and he goes to the body, like you guys said. And Max has shown cardio issues as of late, slowing down more. So that's a bit concerning to me. He could get finished like in round 3 or something. But outside of that, I think it goes over at a decent clip. I think the over is potentially a good parlay piece, but because I'm worried about the dropping down in weight class and both of their ages and max cardio, I'm a bit hesitant on the price, but I think it's going to be a decision. If you look Max by split decision, which I think is his path to victory, it's plus 1,000 on Bet Online. I don't think that's bad, honestly. What do you guys think about that? Split decision, Griffin, plus 1,000.
It would just be fun to see Chris Curtis get screwed by judges again. That'd be funny. I'm here for it.
He's gonna have a meltdown if he does.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Honestly, fuck it. See what he does when it happens. Yeah, honestly, Glenbot agrees with you. He said that before he even broke that down. Max and Curtis ends in split. What's that? What's the odds on that? For just it ends in split.
I think it was like plus 400.
It's plus 400. That's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, you get both guys' decision equity, and odds are it probably goes.
GTD's minus 210. So, and they both fight to close decision. What do you think about that, McPicks? I
actually kind of like that now that I'm thinking about that. Both guys.
I normally don't play those props, but it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I like that, but I don't know. It's just something that's hairy about it, just because they're 37 and 39. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like these guys have been in so many wars. Like it almost seems like it's too obvious. Like they're both super durable. Like both have been knocked out. Like out of 80 fights, you know, three knockout losses. But it's just because the age is kind of, you know, holding me back. You know, they're going to throw at least, you know, they're probably going to throw a lot because Curtis is going to walk them down, like, you know, that shell, and they're going to exchange. So, you know, they're going to land hard shots. So I don't know. It seems like that. Like if I had to choose, I would say this fight goes to decision, but I'm not like rushing to parlay it or anything.
It's funny to say that it's pretty obvious. A split decision plus 400 is a pretty obvious, like a read on it, but like it's kind of crazy. That's kind of bullshit fight we have.
If we're saying you should play this split decision, you should probably play the dog at, you know,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's why I tried to make him spread of the week, but I think it was like minus 180 for his spread for plus 3.
Minus 180, yeah.
Yeah,
that's why I bailed. I made spread of the week. I figured out who I'm doing, but we'll get into that. Next fight, Junior Tafa at light heavyweight, minus 160. George Tukkos or Tuku Tukkos, whatever they fucking call him now, plus 140, plus 142. I know me and Drav disagree on this one. So, Drav, you want me to go first or you want to go first?
You can go first.
All right. So, I haven't bet anything yet. I want to bet on Tukkos. I wanted to hear what the panel had to think about it before I made my decision. And here's why. I think Junior Tafa looks like he's in great shape. We know he's a glory kickboxer. We know his striking is good. He's a Tafa brother. We know he's got KO power. I think a majority of his equity comes by KO. Majority of it comes in round 1. The issues we've seen is Tukkos is a better wrestler, a good wrestler. Doesn't really find finishes necessarily on the ground, but he's good at like position over submission.
You think he's a good wrestler?
When a guy like Junior Tafa swings.
No, talking about Tukkos, you think he's a great wrestler?
I think he's good. Yeah, and like when Tafa goes in swinging long hooks like he always does, swinging wildly, his hips are gonna be right there to be taken down. And when he's flat in the back on the mat, Tukkos is gonna top time him there. And I just think like we've seen fight again. This guy Tafa gets taken to the ground, lays on the mat, can't get up. That's the round. Same thing again. And if he gasses, he quits. What was it? I can't remember which fight he was almost finished in on the ground. It's just like it just seems
his last fight. He actually didn't quit, and he got a finish,
whatever his name is.
Yeah, it's just like, and then we watched him against a guy who I think is better in Navajo Sterling. Not better. Like I made a comment to Drav about his knockout power. Went back and looked at it. Maybe he doesn't carry as much knockout power because this guy was at heavyweight at one point. But I think Navajo Sterling has better footwork, better counter grappling, and better striking. And Tukkos was able to take him down and grapple him. I was there live in Tampa. So I just think Tukkos is at a gym where like he's in Kill Cliff right now. He's fighting high level strikers. He's fighting high level MMA people. He's a true MMA mixed martial artist, and he can put the whole game kind of together at least. And if he gets takedowns and sticks to that, we know he can do that for 15 minutes. Tafa, he gets taken down, he'll quit. So I think Tukkos, and Glenbot just made a really good point that I didn't even think of. Tukkos does need a win for his career, right? So his only path is going to be cage push and wrestling. I don't see a world where he doesn't try and wrestle because honestly, if he doesn't wrestle, he's getting knocked out. So it's kind of just very, I don't know what the word, everyone uses the word. It's like, I don't want to say one dimensional, but it's pretty straightforward. One guy has to wrestle, one guy's going to get the KO. And usually when fights end up like that and it's dog odds for the wrestler, I usually just stick with the grappler, and 80% of the time the grappler usually wins. So that's kind of my process behind it. Plus, he's just like a light heavyweight gross matchup. I just feel like, and what's the over under on this? I didn't even look at that. If you look at
it's over 1.5.
Yeah, it's binary.
Yeah, it's over 1.5. So it's such a binary. It's a perfect word. It's a binary fight. It's just like wrestler versus grappler. Does he knock him out or does he cage push and take him down and beat him? Although I will say, with the better shape with Tafa, maybe his gas tank lasts longer and he carries power longer. That's a total.
The thing is, though, like I agree with you on Tukkos for the most part. Like you can't back Tafa against anyone with that can wrestle, right? I mean, because of that, he's just a fish off his back. What Usman did to him, and then what that Sean Sheriff, whatever his name is, did to him. The thing is, I don't like about Tukkos is the dude just doesn't put out any meaningful offense. Like in any of his fights, like it was nothing that was like crazy damaging. Like he doesn't like sit on his punches. I think the best way to approach this one is like similar to the Kennedy fight is I don't think Tafa has good cardio. I mean, the dude, he was so tired in his second round in his last fight. And all it would take was another takedown. I think he would have lost that fight. So if Tukkos doesn't get knocked out in round one, I mean, probably a pretty good live betting angle, or even like a round 2, round 3, or via submission, something like that. But like from money line, I mean, I could easily see Tafa just taking his chin in round 1. You know, the dude does have power.
Do you think books have gotten sharper lately with the live lines in binary fights like this? Have you noticed that at all? Like you look at it and like, even if the guy lost round 1, you'll still see like a close to favorite line on the underdog.
Yeah,
like they'll go from plus 300 to plus 120, just like that. Just the second round.
But there are definitely some, you know, it's definitely wrong a lot. I think that the books have gotten a lot like sharper, like pre-fight, you know what I mean? Compared to even like last year, 2 years ago.
I will say too, Fanatics is horrible with live lines. They're so delayed and so behind on all their lines. So it's so easy to get a ticket in on Fanatics for bad lines. Just a heads up to anyone who's in New York, Connecticut. I think that's most of the spots it's legal. But yeah, no. So what do you think? You think Tukkos wins a decision? What's your prediction?
If it was a pick 'em, I'd probably take Tafa, honestly. Like I wouldn't bet it, but because Tukkos is the dog, I'll pick him. But again, there's no way I'm betting him pre-fight. I want to see how it plays out in round 1 before I put some money on this one.
It's just one of the ones you either look like a genius or you look like an idiot, because he
either
gets nuked and you're like, wow, I just lost quick money, or he just grapples him for 15 minutes. You're like, this couldn't have been more free.
Yeah, the dude just doesn't have like good offense. Like I mean, even you watch like the Sterling fight, he didn't land anything meaningful. Like I mean, he took him down a couple times, but
nope.
That's a concern.
Drop your breakdown.
Yeah, I mean, if you can name me one fight where Tukkos grapple for 15 minutes or won a fight because he was grappling, I'm going to wait, but I've never seen it.
No, but I don't think he's fought a guy with as bad of takedown and ground game as Tafa, who's just strictly a kickboxer in the sense.
He fought a lot of bad guys on the regional.
You know I don't go back to regionals, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's just the threat of the takedown. But yeah, I mean, he's not even the best grappler. He doesn't have the best control.
Yeah,
but he's also hasn't been dealt an easy UFC run so far either.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, but, that's kind of my thing though. They're using him. They're feeding him to prospect, honestly. And I mean, the guy is also 35. You know, he's 35 years old, and they're just using him against Zhang, C, Sterling. They're trying to build guys with him. And with Tafa, is like, he was always supposed to be at 205. He said that he wanted to drop back down, but the UFC were giving him fight at heavyweight. And for his last fight, I know he gassed out bad, but he took that fight on short notice.
5 days, right?
I don't know if you guys remember, but I've heard someone, I don't remember who, but they talk about that Tafa said that he was, that was short notice, right? So when he said that he was not supposed to fight, he started to drink beers, and he was not training. And then they said, "Oh, you want to fight that guy?" And he said, "Yeah, fuck it." So he was drinking a couple days prior to that. He was not training, and now we're seeing him dropping down to 205 and looking like the best shape in his career. And at the end of the day, I mean, the guy is 28 years old. So he's going to be improving Tukkos is not going to be improving. He's a finished product, and I honestly don't think this guy is good at all. I don't think he's good anywhere. I max bet against him in his last fight. I had 10 units in the parlays with Sterling and Maverick. That's how that's how bad I think this dude is. He's not good anywhere, honestly. He doesn't really have a good shin. His cardio is not really good. His grappling is not good. His striking is not good. He's not dangerous. So it's like, I mean, Tafa, at least he's the younger guy and he's the much better striker and he has knockout power. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Tafa here. Honestly, I'm not laying the minus 160, but to me, he's the side. I'm waiting because I've heard a lot of people liking the Tukkos side. So if the line dropped down to like, I don't know, minus 125, minus 130, I'm probably gonna get involved because, like I said, the guy is.
What's his KO prop?
It's dog shit. It's like minus 110, so I don't want to play that.
What's his like round 1 or round 2 KO prop?
Round 1 is like plus 250 on Bet365, but I don't want to take that because I think it could also be early round 2. And yeah, I just think that at the end of the day, I don't rate Tukkos. You know, Sterling is green in MMA. The guy is not. I would not have bet 10 units on Tukkos if I thought that he could submit Sterling or give him a lot of issues in the wrestling. The reason I did that is because I went to all of his regional fights and he's not showing good wrestling against any of these bums that he's fighting. His wrestling is not good. So he has decent front choke. That's the only thing that I've noticed. And Tafa takedown defense is not awful, by the way. Like his initial takedown defense is also pretty good. But like if you chain wrestle or if you get into the cage and you get him down, that's the problem, is that he's not really able to get back up. But also he was stuck on bottom against way bigger guys at heavyweight. And frankly,
fair point.
Frankly, I just don't rate this Tukkos guys at all. At least Tafa is the better striker and he has knockout power. Like the dude hit really hard. You can talk shit about him, but he was knocking the guy out in kickboxing and in the UFC at heavyweight. So if the power translates and he looks to be in great shape, I think he's just going to be in the right weight class now and probably knock this guy out early. But, you know, yeah. It's just hard for me to, I mean, I can imagine Tafa getting, you know, losing on the ground, but you're saying at first when you broke that down, it's a striker versus grappler matchup. I don't even think Tukkos is a grappler. Like, I don't even know where the guy is good at. So to me, it's really, I think Tafa is going to knock him out, honestly. But yeah, I'm waiting on the line. I hope some more Tukkos money come in. So you can bet him, Peg, if you want. But
yeah, line mover Peg. I'll move it down to.
Yeah, I think this guy's awful. Like I really do. But yeah, Tafa is not great. Don't get me wrong. But at least he's a good striker for the division. And
this is what I was talking about too. Like something like this happening, McPicks, where like we see Tukkos get one takedown, something like that, and then all of a sudden line's gone.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, no, Job, you make a lot of good points. Honestly, like I thinking about it now, I can never put my money on a guy like Tukkos. Again, he just has no offense. Like at least Tafa is going to throw hard and like he has knockout upside. You know, this dude Tukkos, he can wrestle, but is he good at it? No, he's not.
He's not good at it.
But it's like you don't want to fade dog shit with dog shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's you know what? You convinced me. I would go Tafa if anything.
I'm still saying Tukkos as a pick. I'm probably not going to bet it, but I'll still say Tukkos.
It's a dog shit fight, but we're getting the 28 years old guy who's more likely to improve with knockout power.
He has a lot more upside for sure.
And he has a kickboxing background, so he's good at something at least. He's a fish on the ground.
They also haven't done Tafa like the most. He has had some. They're giving him all grapplers so far for them, or guys that can grapple. Like he has not done like just a striker. You know what I mean? So he's been dealing with grapplers.
What about Sterling versus Tafa next?
Sterling versus Tafa. Yeah, they're not going to do that, but yeah.
I would like to see them in like just a kickboxing fight, honestly.
Sterling's going to lose sooner than later. I was high on him at first, but I'm not as high anymore. I've bet him a couple times, but I think he's going to lose soon.
Also, like, by the way, guys, we're on our main card now. Like, comment, subscribe. Next, we'll go on to our next fight here. Next fight, Austin Lane versus Vitor Petrino. Petrino, yet again, a heavy favorite, minus 700. Austin Lane, plus 500. McPicks, how do you think this fight goes?
It's just another one where it's like you have a massive favorite and then the most likely path to victory, which is a knockout is -250, you know? So it's kind of like, what do you do with this type of fight if you
I'm
want
on
to
the
bet on
sub
it?
plus 900.
There you go. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see Petrino just because he's gotten finished his last couple of fights, like just going like right to the wrestling and maybe getting a sub, you know?
Yep.
But dude, Lane has no chin. He really doesn't. It's just like, would you be surprised if like the first punch that Petrino lands cleanly, Lane goes down? You know, I wouldn't be. So
I think he shoots a takedown. He gets hurt and shoots a takedown. We've watched him grapple lately. He's a dumbass football player. He just tries to shoot at someone and try and tackle them. And I think he just gets a guillotine on him.
I think when he gets hurt, he doesn't like when he gets hurt, like he doesn't even know where he is. Like he's not the type to be like, oh, I'm hurt. Like, let me recover, or he can't even function when the dude gets touched. Like he's just all over the place. So, I mean, Petrino, I would say Petrino knockout, but obviously that's the most obvious pick in the world. But that's what I think happens. Yeah.
That's what I thought this stuff, but also Petrino's a pretty good grappler too, and he can get submissions. So I think that like Austin Lane, it's either could be a club and sub, but like you said, it could be one of those things where it's just touch of death where he gets hit and just dies, and then there's no chance for the club and sub. But there's also the chance where he tries to wrestle and shoot takedowns because he feels the power of Vitor, and then he gets caught in a guillotine or some sort of front choke. So
yeah, I would say if you have to, like, if you really want to bend this fight, you can't really play the knockout. I wouldn't play the decision. Yeah, I would play the sub probably because I do think there's a chance that he does play it safe and just Petrino can easily take down Lane.
You could easily take his back also.
Take him down, hit him get him, flatten him out, hit him with the arm triangle, you know. So,
yeah. Yep. And the under 1.5 is -180 now. So
yeah, you can't touch that. I wouldn't touch. I don't think that Petrino has that much power, to be honest. I just think that Lane's chin is just completely.
Petrino's sub is plus 500 now. I got it at plus 900. I didn't play the opener either. I played it a little bit after. So
you lying? That was literally the opener.
Is that when you texted me? That was the opener.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess I played the opener plus 900, but I don't know. It just seemed crazy wide to me. It just I don't know. Plus 900.
Yeah, definitely.
That's probably the way to play it. But yeah, I remember me and McPicks, we played Pinto by knockout the last time out. It was kind of the same thing. Like, I mean, Pinto's not like a big power puncher, but it's just that Lane chin is really awful. And at least Pinto, you know, he has good process and he's a good striker. But you know,
Pinto didn't do anything that first round. That's all. He came out hot that second round and knocked him out like immediately. You know.
Yeah, that was a bad knockout as well. It's like I think Lane was doing really good early, but it was also Pinto not being there. So
Pinto wasn't throwing. Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, Lane is not good. Don't get me wrong. But the thing that the only like tricky part in this fight is like he's a 6'6" heavyweight. You know, and Petrino just got knocked out badly, and now he's moving up to heavyweight. So that's the only that's the only tricky part in a certain way, because Petrino has always been hittable. He's been hurt in some fight, and he just got knocked out badly 6 months ago. So Lane is big and he can hit hard. That's like the only thing that he can do. So would I be like shocked if he catch him early? I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but that will be possible. That's why I couldn't really touch the price on Petrino, but he's the way better fighter. Like you guys said, grappling too is much better. And I don't mind the sub angle, but I think he's probably going to kill him on the feet. Probably a left hook.
Yeah.
All right. Next fight. I should probably do comments. He agrees. Glenbot agrees with me. Petrino's overrated.
Yeah, he always was overrated, to be fair.
Pinto hooks late. Yeah. All fair remarks from Champ as always. Next fight, Nate Landwehr versus Morgan Charrier. Line on Charrier is -260. Nate Landwehr plus 220. I'll go first just because my breakdown is pretty quick. I was on Morgan last fight against Nate Wood. Obviously, Charrier did not look good. I played Charrier big at like -110, thinking like bigger guy, better grappler, better wrestling, better athlete, good power. Like, he's a pretty good fighter. He got rocked and knocked down by a smaller guy and just looked like shit after that. So I'm surprised he's this big of a favorite. Nate did not look good in his last fight either. Obviously, he's 37 now. Chin's starting to go. He's one of those guys that depends on his durability and cooking people late, and starting to wear on people. I think he could do that here. And the reason why is because I don't think a lot of people are realizing that this is Nate Train's like hometown. This is a hometown fight for him. So this is gonna be a home crowd. People are gonna be cheering for him. I kind of got a feeling like this is a system play. We're getting an American at home against a Frenchman. This is gonna be just like Brian Battle. You think I'm gonna lose a fist fight to a French dude? Also, I think I would say Morgan's probably a better wrestler grappler than Nate Train, but if Nate Train can push a pace and push pressure, I don't think he's going to gas out Morgan, but just Morgan's IQ lately hasn't looked the best. I think, like, I don't know. I could just see this just more pace, more pressure, more volume from Nate Train, and Nate Train finds a decision win here. I don't think he's going to finish him. I do think if Morgan finds a win, it'll probably be a knockout. I think I could see him knocking him out, but I don't know. I kind of like Nate Train at plus 200 here at home in front of a crowd where he's going to obviously fight for everything. Could be possibly even be his retirement fight, you know? And if you want to look at like quality of opponents, right? This guy Nate Train's beating guys like David Onama and breaking them. He's beating guys like high level UFC, or not high level, but UFC level guys. I don't even know if Morgan has won a UFC fight at this rate in the UFC. He won on all the regional scenes, but he beat Gabriel Miranda. Congrats.
He beat also another guy, Manolo.
Yeah, Manolo Zacchini. Congrats. So we beat those two guys, but he got
that
beat up.
Chepe fight was really close too. I think
Chepe was close. Chepe was definitely close.
Should have won, honestly. You should have won that.
But getting beat by Wood, where I think Wood was smaller, it's just like doesn't really do it for me. And then if you look at a guy, like we're gonna like do a little bit of quote unquote wiki capping here. Nate Train's beating guys like Jamal Emmers, beating guys. I was there live for that when he knocked him out. Austin Lingo, David Onama, Ludovic Kline, Darren Elkins. Like he's beating good guys. And it's not like he's just like a scrub on the regionals either. He was in the Russian M1 Challenge League. So like he's fought good competition. So like Nate Train's a good fighter. He's one of these guys like Java always say. I probably won't say it here because he's a French guy, but Nate Train's a guy you want to bet at big dog odds, right? If you look at the odds that Nate Train cashes at, Ludovic Kline plus 290, David Onama plus 290. He was a favorite against Lingo, Jamal Embers plus 150. Like he's a guy that wins at big dog odds. He's the type of guy you want to bet at this type of money. He was even an underdog against Darren Elkins. So like, I don't know. Plus 200 seems fair. I'm going to take Nate Train to find the win here. What do you think, Drav?
Yeah, after that breakdown, you better bet him plus 230 on Bet Online.
I'm thinking about it. What do you think about this?
Honestly, I don't have strong read on it. I've been a Shire guy for since he made his debut. I've bet him every fight. Obviously, the Wood fight was not a good look, but honestly, I mean, Wood is 9-3 in the UFC, and he's a really good fighter.
Yeah.
And to give Shire a couple, I think he had issues with that fight because of Wood's speed. Like Wood was way faster than he thought, and he got caught early, got dropped. And also, if you watch that guy for a long time, Shire, he has an elite chin, and I don't remember seeing him get hurt or drop in his fights. So I think him getting dropped early in that fight kind of fucked up everything mentally for him because he's never used to that. And like I said, I think he definitely had issues with Wood's speed. Wood is a smaller guy, like you said, but he was a fast 135er. So at 145, he's really fast. Remember when he fought Charles Jourdain, right? Yep. Jourdain is known for his speed, and Wood was the faster guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just think that was the issues for Shire, and also that he got hurt early. And, yeah, I mean, the Chepe fight, Chepe is also a really good fighter, and he has a really good record in the UFC. I don't even think he's lost yet, right? I mean, Chepe is like, let me just see. So, yeah, Chepe is 5-0 in the UFC, and he should have beat him. And now, after that, he lost to Wood, who's 9-3 in the UFC. So, a fun fact about Shire, I think that Glimbot mentioned in the comments, like he has 15 decisions in his career, right? Can you guys try to guess how many unanimous decisions he got out of these 15 decisions?
No.
4.
Try to guess, Peg.
6.
1 unanimous decision. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is insane.
So he won the decision 15 times. He won 5, and only 1 of these 5 were unanimous. But to his credit, he's also 12-0 to the knockout. Never been knocked out. Like I said, really good chin. But Nate, like you said, he's 37. And that's a guy that, uses durability as a weapon, and now that's going. So that's not great. And he's usually trying to break people. And I don't think he's going to break Shire, who's super durable. And, they both have really good cardio. So I think the price is a little bit wide just because if Shire doesn't finish him, it's probably going to be closer than what the line indicate. But I still think that Shire is probably going to get done at the end of the day. He's the much younger guy. And he's the more durable guy to me at this point. He's 29 and Nate is 37. He took a lot of damage in his career.
You know the lines for any of these? Nate decision only and
Morgan is not out yet for decision only, but the decision prop on Nate is plus 450 on BetOnline. I think it's decent.
I mean, that's probably how he wins. I don't see Morgan getting finished. So honestly, I'd probably play him. I'd probably play that if I play it. But and then that's the thing too. I was obviously spread of the week. I was looking at Nate Train here, but Nate Train to cover plus 3.5 is minus 160, I think. So it's like another chalky one where not worth it. So
yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. McPicks, what do you think for this one?
I kind of agree with what Drav was saying. I think that if you're gonna beat Charrier cleanly like Nate Wood did, you just got to be like more skilled, faster, more technical. I think that Charrier does good against guys like Landwehr.
Yeah.
I think Charrier, like, he's super durable. And I think he'll do actually well. If there's any grappling here, I think he's going to do well. He's still young. I know he lost and won a lot of splits, but I think he's pretty much the best version of himself right now, where I think Nate is kind of on his way out, 37 years old. Charrier is definitely more durable. Do I agree with the line? No, I think it should be a little more narrow, a little closer. But I do think Charrier takes it. Like Drop said, I think if it goes to decision, could be close. I'm not betting against Nate on home turf here, especially because it's favored to go to the distance. But I do think Charrier gets it done.
All right. Take a look at the next one here. I don't. What is Combi? I don't even know what that is. Decision only plus 190. Morgan finish only minus 270. Okay, so there's no value there.
The decision only is not a bad look, honestly.
If he doesn't lose, he probably wins. Yep, I agree there. Do you agree that this is just a how washed is in Nate line?
I don't think so. I mean, he's always been an underdog like that in these spots, like you said.
Yeah. So
he's always been, underrated by the book. So I don't think it's going to change when he's 37. But yeah, to me, he's really getting washed. He's on the decline for sure at 37. And again, when you rely on your durability as a weapon to win fights, and you're getting older at this, lower weight class,
it's just hard to do it.
Yeah, it's really hard.
So yeah, I agree. But it'll be interesting to see. It'll be cool to see what kind of walkout he gets and the applaud he gets in his hometown.
It's going to be a good fight, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a good one. All right, next fight here. Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. This is basically like Twitter's fight of the week, or one of them. I feel like there's been a few of them. But yeah, Calvin Kattar is now slight favorite, and plus 103 is best line right now. Steve Garcia minus 120. I don't know. I think lately this is just like another y'all must have forgot line, I guess. I mean, I'm on Calvin Kattar plus 120 or plus 125 for 2 units. I just think that, I mean, I know Steve Garcia is 5-0 to KOs, but I just think he's dog shit, honestly. I think his cardio is not great. I think he counts on that KO. Kattar's never been KO'd. This is a huge step down for Calvin Kattar. And I mean, the counter boxing, the boxing, the pace, the volume, all that, and the grappling. If he wants to wrestle Kattar like he did against Giga Chikadze. I know Steve Garcia is actually a decent wrestler, so like I don't think he's
Giga what?
Chikadze, whatever it is. The Giga kick, whatever the fuck he is.
Giga Chick-fil-A? Is that what you said?
Yeah, whatever the fuck he is. Either way, I just think Steve Garcia.
It's funny he's not there because he would have been like, oh.
Yeah, either way, he's dog. Steve Garcia, to me personally, I think he's dog shit. I'm not buying it. Rattling off all these KOs is just like, that's great for him, but like, I don't know. I could see Calvin Kattar. Guys are saying Calvin by decision plus 400. I could see Calvin Kattar winning inside the distance, honestly. So I don't know. I think it's an easy click on Calvin Kattar. Line's coming in. Get that plus money if you can, but I don't even mind Calvin Kattar at minus 110. I think he should be I think there's a very good chance that Calvin Kattar looks minus 200 here. What do you think, McPicks?
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I think stylistically, awesome matchup for Kattar. Obviously 4-fight losing streak, and Garcia on the other hand, 5-fight winning streak. All of his knockouts by KO. Super exciting fighter. But he definitely has his flaws. First of all, level of competition has to be discussed. Kattar, 4-fight losing streak.
Sterling, Allen, Emmett, Holloway, Giga,
Right.
Ige, Stevens, Zabit. Like, doesn't even
Exactly.
compare.
And if you break those down, Kattar injured his knee against Allen, was out-wrestled by Aljo.
Yeah.
And he was essentially outskilled and outperformed by Zalal. Emmett, I thought he won that fight. And Zalal obviously is on a heater.
Kattar did win that Emmett fight. He did win that Emmett fight. And here's the thing about the Zalal fight. Zalal was running scared in that third round. That's a main event fight. I think Kattar wins that fight too, honestly.
Right. So this is a major step up in competition for Garcia. One thing to note here is Garcia, like you just said, Peg, Zalal kind of ran away. Garcia is not going to do that. He's going to bring the fight to Kattar. He's not going to bounce around on the outside and try to outpoint him. They're both going to throw down and land some major blows. With that being said, I trust the iron chin of Kattar, despite being 37 years old. He's fought some big hitters in the UFC, never knocked out. Besides the injury, doesn't count.
Yeah,
he's never been knocked down, which is huge too. His only KO loss was that injury to his knee. Garcia, on the other hand, very dangerous, right? But he's not responsible. We've seen him not only brutally knocked out in the UFC, we've seen him hurt bad on multiple occasions. In fact, Charlie Ontiveros, who's a terrible fighter, if he had any semblance of takedown defense, I think he finishes Garcia, as he had him hurt multiple times on the feet.
Yeah.
Kattar has great takedown defense. I know Aljo took him down a lot. Steve Garcia is not the wrestler. Right, exactly. He's not Aljo. So I think that if Kattar has Garcia hurt, he's going to make him pay. My concerns with backing Kattar, obviously he's 37. There is the possibility he's completely washed. But based on his durability, boxing, power, and experience, yeah, I think he's the clear side here. And I don't
think he even looked washed against the law, though. That's the thing. Like, I don't really think.
No, I don't think that either. I'm just saying, like, that's the downside. Maybe he is a little bit, but I think that he gets back on track. I think he knocks out Garcia in the first round here.
Yeah. What do you think, Drop?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what McPick said. Basically, my breakdown is really similar. A fun fact that when I was taping this fight, you look into his last 5 opponents, Kattar, right? 2 of them are Josh Emmett and Yusuf Salah. The only 2 guys that Ilia Topuria couldn't finish in the UFC.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy when you look at it, right? And is one of his other opponent, a former champion, a really good grappler in Sterling, and the other fight, he injured his knee. So yeah, I mean, what would Josh Emmett do to Steve Garcia? What would Arnold Allen do to Steve Garcia? What would Sterling do to Garcia? What would Zalal do to Garcia? I mean, Zalal footwork and defense elite in the UFC, right? Garcia is the opposite. He's really easy to land on, and Kattar, all of his career, if he can land on you and if you exchange with him in the boxing range, he's always been really good there. Nasty elbows as well, and the durability difference, people are not really thinking about it. Just because if you look on paper, Steve Garcia, wow, 5 KO wins, only been KO once. But like McPick said, when you look into the tapes, he's getting almost deaded by Charlie Ontiveros. He got hurt like 3 times in that fight. He got dropped badly against Shailan. He got, and then his last 3 fights, I think he did well. But, Kyle Nelson, he was kind of hitting him in the back of the head. I don't know if you guys recall that, but
yeah,
he had like a big thing on the behind of his head after that fight. Nelson, Choi has been KO'd 1, 2, 3 times in his last 4 fights. Costa, that was a good win, but also that was Costa taking that fight at 155 and trying to grapple fuck him for some reasons, and then he got brutally knocked out. But all these guys are not the same level as Calvin Kattar. That's a big step up in competition. And on the other end, that's a big step down for Kattar, who's been fighting elite guys for years and years. So I think that, maybe he's washed, like you guys said. He's 37, knees injury, so that's possible. But at the end of the day, I think he's the better boxer. I think he can match Garcia power, but I think he can take the shot better. And frankly, if anyone wrestle here, I think it's going to be Kattar, honestly. I think he could get this dude back like he did against Giga. Garcia's lost fight before because of grappling. He got taken out against Costa in round 1. And then he lost decision to Luis Pena because he got his back taken. He didn't really know what to do. And he got knocked out cold against Maishate, who's not a big hitter like Kattar is. So I just think that recency bias is a bitch. And right now we're getting Kattar at dog odds because of that. So yeah, get in, bet him. He should be the favorite again. He should not be an underdog. So yeah, it's a really good spot considering the step down in competition for Kattar, step up for Garcia, and the durability difference. And at the end of the day, Kattar took Josh Emmett and Dan Ige best punches, who are like 2 of the hardest hitter in the division. So why couldn't he take Steve Garcia punches? I get that he's older now, but like McPick said, I mean, I wrote in my breakdown, but I think it's 21 pro. Wait a minute. It's I have it right there.
Kattar KO is only plus 200. I thought
yeah, no, it's not going to be great. But
when's the last time Kattar's even gotten like a finish?
Yeah, they're sharp to it. I was hoping to be like plus 500, plus 600.
That's exactly the price I was looking for.
But he's fought some durable dudes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, Max Holloway, Giga could potentially have finished, but Giga is tough to finish, to be fair as well. So Max Holloway, Giga, Josh Emmett, Allen, Sterling, Zalal. Like all these guys probably has been finished 2 times combined?
Yeah. Ige before that. I mean,
Aljo's been finished 2 times himself. Aljo's been finished 2 times himself, whether it be Peter Yan's knee.
Yeah,
but there was no striking in that matchup. He blanketed Kattar.
Yeah, exactly. But Allen never been finished. Zalal never been finished. Josh Emmett been finished 2 times, but like we talk about, didn't get finished against Topuria, and Holloway just got finished against Topuria. But you guys know what I mean, right? So the guys he's been fighting are really durable, and now he's fighting a guy that's getting dropped a lot. So yeah, right. I think he could be fine here. Hey, you can go. The next one, it's the main event, right? No, it's the co-main.
Next fight we got is Gabriel Bonfim versus Wonderboy. Wonderboy's plus 300 now. Bonfim minus 400. Job, I'm gonna have you go first here. I mean, is Wonderboy washed, or is Bonfim gonna finish Wonderboy and just end this career just pitifully? I mean, this is a huge step down for Wonderboy and a big step up for Bonfim. Kind of a crazy matchup, honestly. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Wonderboy is 42 years old, and he just got knocked out badly. So that's hard to back him. But if I break down this fight and I just ignore the age, Wonderboy is the better striker, and he's made a career making good striker look silly on the feet. You look into it, right? He made Prime Vincente Luque look bad on the feet, right? He made Buckley look bad on the feet in his last fight at 41 years old.
He was winning that fight. He was winning. I had a bet on Buckley, and it did not look good.
Yeah. I had the over 2.5. Ooh, that was a bad one.
Me too, bro. That was annoying, dude. I had the same one. So yeah, I mean, Allen had success in round 1, right? He kind of hurt him, but outside of that, he kind of beat him up. So he made Kevin Allen look bad. He made Buckley look bad on the feet. He made Jeff Neal look bad on the feet. He made Vincente Luque look bad on the feet. He made Masvidal look bad on the feet. He knocked out Whitaker back in the days on the feet. So it's like this guy's made a career against striker, making them look silly. So because his footwork and his stance is so hard to hit, and in the big cage especially. So Bonfim, the thing that I've noticed is he has a really good jab, and I think his boxing is actually pretty solid. But he starts off his combos with the jab almost every time. He needs to land the jab to get to have most of his success in the combination on the feet. But I don't think he's gonna have an easy time landing the jab over Wonderboy. I've looked into it, and not many guys are landing jab on Wonderboy because of his karate stance, and he's a really good striker. So that's gonna be hard for him to land the jab. And
what about the sub?
That's my other point. And also in 21 UFC fights, Wonderboy only been outstruck at distance 1 time. That's kind of crazy, right? So yeah, I get these 42 and all of that, but to me, he looked good against Buckley, and Buckley is way more explosive than Bonfim with the takedowns. He defended Shafkat early on. He defended takedown there. I think Wonderboy, honestly, takedown defense and get up is pretty solid. But Bonfim is a really good grappler and he's really good at the front choke. So my worry is that he's gonna get him down, then Wonderboy get up and he gets stuck in a guillotine. But also, if he can get takedowns and Wonderboy make him work, we've seen Bonfim gas out and quit before, right? So, and getting a sub over Chaos William now, and having a ton of success in the grappling, considering Chaos William last fight, I don't think that's as good of a performance as what people are thinking. Chaos William made a career using his power to win fight, and he didn't really fought grapplers, and now he got kind of exposed on the ground recently in his last 2 fights. I just think that Bonfim is he's way younger, and he's only he's just so much younger, and his grappling upside is so huge. So I understand why he's a decent sized favorite, but I mean, like I said, I could see this fight Wonderboy making him look silly on the feet and avoiding the takedowns early, because I don't think Bonfim's gonna finish Wonderboy late like Buckley did. If you finish him, that's gonna be early, probably in the first 7 minutes. And outside of that, I don't think getting a front choke is gonna be that as easy. And I think his grappling is solid, but I don't think his wrestling is that good. And he normally uses his hands and his striking and his power to set up the grappling. It's like some of them are club and sub. I don't really think he's going to hurt Wonderboy, and I don't think he's going to have an easy time taking him down early. So, yeah, I mean, dog or pass for sure at this price. If you like Bonfim, just take the under or take the sub prop. That's the way to play him. But if you like Wonderboy, maybe you just take the money line. Maybe you take the decision prop. I could see him knocking Bonfim out if Bonfim slow down and quit. And Wonderboy has those spinning shit. But it's kind of hard
to
the
body. I think the kicks to the body are what gets him.
It's kind of hard to see him win at 42, but at the same time, it's just, I mean, that line to me is just kind of crazy. So yeah, it's dog or pass, but I think Bonfim probably get a sub.
Well, my spread of the week is Wonderboy plus 120, plus 3.5. I don't see a world where if this fight goes the distance, Wonderboy doesn't win outright, doesn't win a decision, right? Doesn't win a decision. There's a chance he finds a KO. And I just don't think Bonfim, I think there's a little too much price being thrown on Bonfim for subbing Hood Boy. Chaos Williams. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's just there's just too much being put there. The only guy to ever sub Wonderboy was Shavkat. So it's I just don't see it here. I think this is just a big step up. And honestly, it's a bigger cage. It's kind of a close to a hometown fight. Ricky just said Wonderboy by decisions plus 600. Crazy number there. But like I said, I'm going to be on his spread plus 3.5 because I honestly don't really see him getting finished, to be honest. And I also I just don't see him not winning at least one round. I think that'd be crazy if he didn't. And I think his equity on round 3 is definitely higher than Bonfim's is. And I mean, I think he could win the whole fight. So I'm going to be on his money line as well, because I do that with most of my spread of the weeks. But I think spread of the week plus 3.5 on plus 120 for Wonderboy is generous, to be honest with you. What do you think, Picks?
The problem with that is that if he loses, he'd probably get finished. To me, that's kind of my thing. If the fight goes 15 minutes, I think he wins, honestly.
Wonderboy's winning the fight, and that's what I was just saying. MMA Ricky said a Wonderboy by decisions plus 600.
Yeah, but my point is why playing plus 120 rather than playing plus 320 at this point?
Well, we're gonna play both. That's the thing. We're playing both.
No, but what I mean is if you play the spread, but the guy that he's fighting, most likely Pat is a sub, then you're playing plus 110 rather than playing, the big money line. If I don't know if I explained correctly, but
you're making sense. You're making sense, but you don't understand. I have to pick a spread for the week. It's spread of the week for a reason. So I don't have a choice here, Joff.
All right.
This is the best spread with value on it.
I know you're saying, Joff. I mean, it's not it wouldn't be crazy if Bonfim won a decision either. You could win a 29-28 decision and you catch the Wonderboy spread,
Yeah, it's possible.
But if this one plays out on the feet, obviously, Wonderboy is a crazy good striker, but Bonfim is also a very good striker too. Like you mentioned, Drav, really good jab, good output. I think the fight against Dalby was a bit of a learning experience for him. He was undefeated prior to that. But I think that, Shavkat, I don't think he's that good of a wrestler, to be honest. I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler, but I don't think that's his best attribute. Once it gets down, he just grinds on you. He's very good. I think Bonfim's a little more explosive than Shavkat is. And I do think that he does get Thompson down at some point and probably finds a finish. If you look through Wonderboy's record, he hasn't really fought many submission guys. The only one you could say where he didn't get submitted was against Gilbert Burns, who kind of obviously is a very good jiu-jitsu guy, kind of grinded him out wrestled him. But besides that, no one recently, besides Shavkat, only got him down one time. Then he, eventually got the submission. I think Bonfim, if the fight does get down to the mat, he's super aggressive with his passing and his submissions. So I do think he does finish, but obviously that line's going to be a little bit pricey. I like the under personally. I think that both guys are actually live for the finish. I think Stephen Thompson can head kick him. I think he can hit him to the body, like you guys said. So, but if I had to make a pick, I think Bonfim submits him.
What do you guys think of that? The Wonderboy decision only plus 215.
I'm honestly not good with those prop. I don't play them, so I don't have much of an opinion. I don't know McPicks if you're used to them, but I don't have access to those. So.
Yeah, that's not a bad look. Personally, I'm just not eager to rush to bet Wonderboy at his age.
At 42.
Yeah.
I will say at 42, I don't think he really looks 42. He doesn't move like he's 42 years old. You know what I'm saying? He
looks young. He could pass for 32, but
exactly. And he was also, he wasn't like he was looking horrible. He was winning against Buckley. He wasn't looking bad. And Buckley's was almost on his way to a title shot.
He also actually, I know Stephen Thompson is durable overall, but he has been dropped a lot of times in his career.
Yeah.
Look back at his record. He's been dropped a bunch, not finished a bunch, but he has been hurt on the feet before.
Yep.
So
it's tough.
And I do you think that Bonfim does have underrated power on his hands?
Well, see which one's the Golden Glove boxer, the world champion boxer? Is that Ismail or is it him? I think it's Ismail Bonfim.
I'm pretty sure they both have a boxing background, but I think Gabriel is
one of them is a Golden Glove world champion boxer. The other one's just a boxer.
I think it's Gabriel, but honestly, I don't think that means shit. With these, sometimes it doesn't mean shit. I remember trying to search that up and I didn't find anything.
I remember because he was my first ever max bet when I started Picks by Pegasus on Twitter. My first ever max bet was Gabriel against I can't remember. I'll go look it up later. It was who did he get a knockout in 30 seconds? Not even.
I don't think he has a knockout in the UFC. I think they're all sub.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got a quick sub against
Lazez. Oh, I'm sorry. It was Munir. It was against Munir Lazez. That's when I bet him. It was minus 162. And I max bet it. That's who it was. But either way, we'll go to the main event here. Derek Lewis versus Taliesin Teixeira. Derek Lewis also 42 plus 230. King of the KO versus Taliesin Teixeira.
He's 40 years old.
He's 40. I don't got Tapology. I'm just guessing at this rate. Derek Lewis plus 230. Taliesin Teixeira minus 270. Okay. Main event. The king of knockouts versus a guy who is so unproven. And I don't even know how he found himself in a main event, his second fight in the UFC. But here we are. This is heavyweight. Meanwhile, we cut Biggie Boy. I don't get what's going on in heavyweight. This is just new age heavyweight versus old age heavyweight, right? Guy's good at jiu-jitsu. Guy's 6'9". He's like a skyscraper. Throws great volume. Throws heavy punches. Throws long jabs. Guy Teixeira does it all. But Derek Lewis is Derek Lewis. He could be losing the whole fight like he was against Volkov and then just hit you with the kitchen sink and that's all over. And then his pants are off and it's crazy. So how do you guys think this fight goes? Does Derek Lewis do it again? Or does Teixeira put the old man to sleep and we move on?
I think he's definitely live to do it again. I mean, this has to be just like at a principle, a dog or pass situation, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too.
It's got to be.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, like you said, Teixeira is totally unproven. Hasn't been out of the first round. I mean, he was taking some big shots against that one dude in the Contender Series. I mean, you take those shots against Derek Lewis,
You're going out.
I don't know if you're going to eat him like he did on the Contender Series. So
No.
but yeah, I mean, Derek Lewis, old now. You know, he could take a couple shots and go down within a minute and a half. You know what I mean? But it's another one where, you know, you got to take Derek Lewis, and even honestly, I would say after a round, you know, he's probably not a bad live betting. It's got to be a dog or pass situation, you know. So yeah, one of these guys going down probably early.
Sub. This guy said Taliesin sub. My only thought process there is like if Almeida didn't sub him, I don't think after having 25 minutes of
he's got like no neck, you know, he's tough to sub this guy.
Dude, did you guys see the clips of just Derek Lewis standing back up, like guys just like taking his back or like out grappling him, and all he does is just stand back up, and all of a sudden he's back on his feet again.
Yeah, man, stand up jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, so I don't know. I want to. You got to be on. I want to be on the Black Beast, but I just don't know if you can here, just because like I don't know. I think when Tai Tuivasa hit him with that elbow, I honestly think he threw that fight. Like I don't know. It just looked weird. It just looked weird to me.
Yeah, you got to question the motivation of Derek Lewis. He's probably getting paid a lot of money, right? He's main event. He's been in the UFC for a long time. I'm not saying he's gonna just give up, but I think if he's getting clinched up and he's taking elbows to his face, he's gonna go down again. You know?
Yeah. I don't think this guy House has never made it out of the first round, right?
No. So
no, but there's like there's a fight you can watch where he's extended. It's not an MMA fight. That's a decision like kickboxing. 2022. It's 3 rounds. It's 9 minutes. I've watched that fight. His cardio look okay.
I mean, he throws good volume for a heavyweight. So like it leads me to believe his cardio is probably not bad. He also was a jiu-jitsu guy before.
Yeah, I think he's a BJJ black belt.
Yeah, shout out. I was listening to Lucrative show earlier today, and Lucrative mentioned that JB said that he used to be like Teixeira BJJ on Instagram.
Right. He had that in his Instagram name. I remember.
He changed it, and then he moved it, and now he's just Teixeira because now he's knocking everyone out. So like,
yeah, I think it was his nickname. I think it was his nickname is Xaho, something like that. I think it was Xayo BJJ, something like that. Yeah. I remember that when I taped him for the Now at Contender Series.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's a weird fight, but at the same time, the guy is, you know, I think his ceiling at heavyweight is quite high. You know, 25 years old, 6'7", massive power, big volume, BJJ black belt. You know, sky is probably the limit. His chin look good, but I know that because he get hit a lot. His striking defense is not great. And this guy, Artur Lopez, on the Dana White Contender Series, he was hitting him a lot, way too much. By the way, that guy lost another fight by knockout after, so just that to take note of. But yeah, I mean, Lewis, as we know, has big knockout power. He's dangerous. But I mean, I think he's kind of a quitter too, honestly. Like if you hit him to the body or to the legs, he doesn't like that. And he's been KO'd a lot himself. And at 40 years old, I don't think he's looked good recently. Against Nascimento, he was kind of trying to shoot takedowns. You know, against De Lima, he got a flying knee. Like, you're not going to flying knee a 6'7" guy. Good luck with that. And, you know, the Tuivasa fight, the elbow that he got caught by, I think it might be a little bit lazy by my end, but I think something similar is probably going to happen. It's probably going to kick him to the body, get in the clinch, knee in the body, and then elbow on top like he did last time. Or at distance, he's going to just throw more volume. And I think he's more durable at this point. He's the way younger guy. But yeah, Lewis always live for a kill shot in any round. That's kind of the tricky part with him. But, you know, I'm kind of mad because they're really onto it. Like, the price is bad. The under 1.5 is bad. Round 1 prop for Teixeira is bad. Like, I don't really think there's much to play here, but I think he should probably. Well, what you said?
It's one of those fights where it's like, you know, if you're having a good night, you're up on the night, the main event's coming up, you got a couple of beers down, you're throwing $100 on Derek Lewis.
You know, and hope for the best.
And hope for the best. That's it. You know, because there's no way you can't lay this price on this other dude. And like you said, Drav, like I like the under 1.5, but it's -210. You know what I mean?
Imagine this guy gets his ass beat in round one. Like Lewis gets his ass beat in round one, doesn't quit, and then we get like a plus 500 on Derek Lewis going into round two.
He's aggressive too. I mean, Teixeira it's like every single fight aggressive. So
this fight ends round one minus 135.
Yeah, it's not terrible, honestly.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, it's just a pass, but I think Teixeira is gonna probably knock his head off.
Yeah.
But,
all right, guys, that's the show. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's throw a little parlay together for these guys. I know Drav hates it, but everyone else loves it, so we're gonna do it anyway.
I mean, we can't win any parlays anymore, so that's why I hate it.
It's not about winning. It's not about winning. It's about doing it together. It's the power of friendship, Drav. It's the power of friendship.
The reasons I bet is because
someday we're gonna hit one, and everyone's gonna be like, "Wow, we did it."
Hold on, we got a pretty good track record when I'm on the show.
We do.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. So how do
you guys do? You guys have been doing long shots though recently.
Yeah, we're just doing our favorite prop. Do we want to go do old school BTL parlay, old school style because McPicks is back?
We can do a old school, because.
All right. So what do you guys got? What are you going for?
I think caught me by surprise. You can go first, McPicks, since you're the guest.
So we're doing just like a straight pick, nothing crazy prop wise, odds wise.
On Bet Online, either like a money line or like a totals that you can parlay on Bet Online.
I would take Kattar money line plus 103 on Bet Online right now.
Okay.
Peg.
Imagine like Fatima Kline minus 1200. No, I'm gonna go with. Some of these lines are just so ugly. Drav, you have one. You can go first. I'm still looking.
I want to take Tafa, bro.
All right, all right. Tafa minus 160.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot that I like on the parlays.
That's what I'm saying. Me either, really. What? Okay, so what's that at with just those two?
Plus 230.
Okay, so we need one more.
You could take the under 2.5 for Kline, but if she get it late round 3, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Or you could take.
What about the over on the Walker Kennedy fight?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The over is minus 200 if you get the minus over 1.5, but we can't. Not everyone can get that, right?
Yeah, no. Maybe the over 2.5 in the Curtis fight.
What's the odds of that? Minus 245. Yeah, I'll take that. That's fine. That works for me. I think it goes to decision anyway.
I think we have good chance to cash it. So yeah, Kattar plus 103, Tafa minus 160, and over 2.5. Curtis Griffin minus 245. So it's plus 365.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna lock it in right now. But if we lose this, that's because of Peg.
Yeah. All right, guys.
We'll just blame Peg if it loses.
Yeah, as always. All right. That's the show. McPicks. Thanks for joining us again. We appreciate it. You got any deals going on for your Dub Club, or do you use Patreon? I can't remember.
No, Dub Club. No, just I'm always posting content on there. Every UFC card. Been doing really good. 6 years tracking, 6 years profitable. On every Saturday, I throw usually 2 to 3, sometimes 4 long shot parlays in there. And I hit a big one back in December for 20K. And we've been close. We're knocking at the door on these parlays. Like the elusive last leg has been getting us, but we've been doing okay because we usually hedge out a little bit in that last leg. But I got a good feeling about this weekend.
All right. And Drav, I'll do your pitch for you. Now it's time. Now, if there's a time to join, it's now. You look at the summer of UFC. We got cards every single week. You show him that you subscribe to our channel. He'll give you a discount. You got to buy like a 1 or 2 month package because realistically, we got fights every single weekend from now until Labor Day or Memorial Day? What's the end of summer? I can't remember anymore.
Labor Day.
So you got fights every weekend up until Labor Day. So that's you pay for 1 month, you get or 2 months or 3 months, whatever the hell it is, you get a ton of events. So that's how you should join it. Join Drav now. He's on a heater. One of the best streaks we've seen in a while. Key also. I'll do a pitch for Key while I'm at it.
Whoa. You already doing a pitch for everyone besides me?
All right, I'll get you last. So Key, you want to go on vacation 3 times in 2 months? Join Key 3's channel. It's good. Guys, if you want to join our Discord, we bet other sports. We bet MMA. I give my picks there for free. We talk fights all the time. I've been giving out these crazy MLB plays that have also been cashing like crazy. We're up like 20K since June 1st. So it's always free in there as well. Check it out. And then McPicks, like we said, he's on a two-week losing skid. You know he's due to win now. He could win big and hit every play this week. If not, he's going to continue through it. We know he's going to turn it around. So now's the time to join.
Something to note, Dana White Contender Series coming back next month.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. So you get Contender Series bets on top of this. And Job also gives out picks for PFL. So you're going to get PFL shit too.
Contender Series is going to be good.
It's really good. I mean, last year, I think we both crushed it.
I think I won 9 events, lost 1 last year in Contender Series.
Yeah, I think I went 6 in one.
Really good opportunity to profit. But yeah, I mean, thanks for joining us, McPicks. I mean, Keith couldn't make it, so good guest for you to be on. We normally do well when you're on, and we agree on I think most of the card. And if you guys don't follow him already, go follow him on Twitter. He's under a paywall, but I think you post parlays every week, and if you tell only one of them and you tell the right one, you're probably feeling pretty good right now. You had a big one. I'm trying to hit one myself like you did. I think the Talbot fight was last week, right? I had a crazy one too. Look, I don't know. I think I've shown you, right? I had that one. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's a big one, right?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Either Emil will never be my friend, right? So it was McKinney sub 1, Robocop KO, Talbot decision, go the distance, Dariush Moicano, and Emil decision, bro. It was like, I think I put 5, was it $50, something like that? But I think if I got that, it would be like 40K or something like that. And he did it in round 1. I was like, fuck, man. So that was so annoying. But yeah, it is what it is. These long shots are not easy to hit. But if you hit one like you did, I mean, you're good for like 20 more. So I'm going to try to hit one like you did one day, bro. So yeah, everybody follow McPicks. Thanks for joining. And yeah, I'm glad we have UFC back, Dana White Contender Series, all of that. So, I mean, join the Odd Shoppers. I did the 6-month recap already on Twitter, but plus 83 units, 22% ROI. I don't think I need to say anything else. You should be joining, make money, and don't forget to like the video on the way out.
All right, bye.
All right, boys.